Hello for the recorders. Hello, everybody else. I'm so excited to have you guys on. Last week we did really well. Who was on last week? Was everybody on last week? Or did you watch the recording? Yeah, cool. So last week we talked about separating ourselves from what we think we are. Okay? It was really cool and it's a little bit mind-blowing. So if you missed it, you probably want to go back and watch that one too. Because what we talk about is the fact that we take everything so seriously. We take everything so personally, and we think that we are ourselves, when really we're not. We're a whole bunch of fucked up emotions that have been stacked over time. We've had our beliefs changed around. We've had people label us, and slowly but surely, we have stacked up this identity who we believe we are, which we're not. Okay, so we talk about separating ourselves from that and sitting inside our golden goddess, so to speak, the person that just observes, the person that loves, that always has their love glasses on, that comes from a place of just stillness. Okay, not the chattering, because we've talked about that. The person sitting on your shoulder, chattering, all that self-talk, all that negativity, that's not you. That's your situated belief systems that we want to let go. So this is part 2 of that. Once we sit in that stillness and we separate the two identities. We separate all the chatter, and then we watch the person that just observes the chatter. When we sit in that seat of observation, we are really powerful. That's our connection to the divine. Okay, now you can have that divine as whatever you think. Depending on your religious beliefs or your spiritual beliefs, put that divine as whoever you think it is. Okay, because regardless of our beliefs, there is something bigger working for us. And I would really love to challenge you on that if you don't agree. Because right now, think about where you're sitting. We're spinning in a blue and green planet that has water that's not falling off of it. Okay, we are part of a system that is so much bigger than us. There is a sun, there's moons, there's planets, okay, way out there that make us look like a tiny little speck of dust. So when you think of all those big problems that you have, you're a tiny little speck of dust in the universe. The crazy thing about that is that our solar system is massive, but for our greatest comprehension, the universe keeps going and going and going, and there's stuff out there that we will never understand, ever. Okay, so if you look at how vast that is out externally, there's got to be something else out there controlling this, looking after this, having some kind of idea bigger than what we do. Then if you look internally, right now, the fact that we're made from sperm and an egg, we create an ear, we create fingernails, we create lips, we create kidneys, we create blood vessels. Do you know our blood vessels can actually go all the way around the world if we were to join them all up? That's how much is inside our body right now. So what's nuts is that we go about life acting like we aren't special, acting like we're not magic, acting like we're not divine. So right now I want to challenge that. If you have that situation where you feel like you're just a basic bitch, I want to give you a little bit of a slap and let you all know that you're absolute magic. Okay? So we are here to connect to whatever that greater thing is. All right, so use it in your mind, because I don't want to be disrespectful to your own beliefs, but we all do need to agree that there's something bigger and something better out there, and that we are created by it. Okay, I found a really cool little quote on my phone today, and it says, "Isn't it amazing that the same God, whatever you want to think, the same God that created the stars, the sky, the mountains, the sea, the beautiful coastlines, thought the world needed you." And isn't that amazing? They made us all different with all different talents to turn up. Okay, so what this is about is understanding that our mind, the way that we live every day, is such a low vibration. When we're not connecting to things that are higher than us, when we don't open up our mind to understand how much power and how much control we actually have. Because this training is actually called, it's based on the law of attraction and understanding that. Now, just hands up for those girls and guys who are on tonight, who actually has a little bit of an understanding of the law of attraction already? Yeah, leave them up if you feel confident in the fact that you have a great understanding of the law of attraction. Cool. Yeah, we've got a little bit of this happening. I love it. Everybody's head goes, meh. Yeah, cool. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to touch on just the basis of it. Kylie, I know you do, girlfriend. We're going to touch a little bit on the basis of it, and then we're going to delve into why it's important in this business. So basically, I want you guys to understand we are part of a much bigger web than just us. So when we're dealing with bullshit in our lives, it's very important for you to separate from that and understand that that is just your situation. That is not you. You don't have to respond to it. You don't have to react to it because we are part of something much bigger. Not everything needs your reaction. Okay, that's a really good thing to do because the reaction is what is going to create your reality. Now, I really want to be respectful in this, but I also don't want to sugarcoat things. So if I say something that upsets you, I do apologize in advance, but I feel like it's one of those parts where this does need to kind of slap you in the face just a little bit. So one of the biggest things is that whatever is happening in your life right now, you have attracted it. Whether it's positive or whether it's negative, you are the only reason why it exists. It didn't come to you out of chance. It didn't come to you out of anything crazy. Situation, it didn't come to you out of coincidence. It came because you're attracting it. Okay? Now you can either attract that from subconscious level to create growth in your path, or you can create it from a conscious level of what your mind is constantly thinking about. Okay, I'm going to explain that a little bit deeper. So we already understand that we are energy. Okay, now that is not me using a made up term because I love energy. It is actually quantum physically proven that we are made of energy. Okay, we don't actually exist. Right now we're just this rainbow color of energy and we've attached atoms to it which have made us cells. We were energy before we were anything else. When I think right now, I'm giving off a thought which equates to energy. You can actually measure it. You can measure the frequency of my thoughts. It's an actual thing. I think a lot of the time we assume that our thoughts are magic. They're nothing. They're just nothing. Okay? But everything that we think gives off a frequency. So if we imagine ourselves as a massive big magnet, because that's what we are, energy is a magnet, okay, we can actually give off good stuff or we can give off bad stuff. We can attract what we want or we can attract what we don't want, depending where our perception sits, depending where our thoughts sit. If our thoughts are always thinking about the things that we don't want, the magnet is giving to the things that we don't want. Okay, because it doesn't have a filter. It doesn't have a filter. It doesn't think, oh, Stacey really doesn't want this to happen, so we can't make it happen. They just know Stacey's thinking about this, so here it goes. Have you ever heard of that ask and you shall receive? Yeah? Same thing. It doesn't know that you're asking for it not to happen. It just knows you're thinking about it. So it gives it to you. It is the greatest law of attraction. And when you think about us coming in from a divine perspective, we must have some magic powers in ourselves. There must be something magical about us being here, about exploring our journey and creating something for ourselves that gives us power to ask and receive. Now, even when you look back to some of the craziest stuff, like, has anybody read Think and Grow Rich? It was a book, I can't recommend it enough. It was the game changer for me in this business. It was written in such early 1900s. I think it's 1918, I want to say. It was so ridiculous. It was so early. It touches on the law of attraction. It's a business book, but it says if you want something to happen, you need to think about it. And how crazy is that a book that's over 100 years old already understood that concept? You go through the Bible and look at how many times either Jesus or one of his disciples talk about basically the law of attraction. Yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing. And I mean, some of the greatest literatures of history actually contain it. And that's why I love The Secret, because The Secret goes way back through all the little bits and pieces. It pulls stuff from all different faiths, all different religions, and it shows that regardless who you believe, we all believe that ask and you shall receive. It will come. Yeah. So it's really cool to understand that in that, when you are talking from an attraction point of view, it doesn't know whether you want it or whether you don't want it. It just knows what you're thinking because it's the thought. So if you're constantly thinking about the bills, if you're constantly thinking about the debt, if you're constantly thinking about the things that worry you financially, that is what's going to be attracted into your life. And I know that seems unfair because you're thinking, but I don't want them. All right, but that's not how the system works. You need to retrain your brain, retrain your perspective to come from a place of abundance. What do I want? What do I desire? And put your thoughts on that instead. And unfortunately, we all know someone right now who is so miserable, who is so stuck in victim mode because all they do is complain about being a victim. Hands up. Do you know someone like that? Yeah, I know a few of them. But all they're thinking about is all the things that they don't want, and then they've got more to whinge about when it shows back up. Yeah? You guys need to have the awareness that you can control that. So if right now something is in your brain, something is in your life that you're not happy about, quit thinking about it. Quit it. Every time it shows up, you need to put that fucker away. Put it down, okay? Because the more you think about it, the more you let it upset you, the more your energy comes out and emits towards it, the harder it comes back to you in your face. Some of the biggest, unhappiest people that I know are overthinkers. And that's because they think they're awesome, because they're overthinking things, they're analyzing things, but they're attracting more of those things that they're thinking about. Yeah? That's why meditation is this amazing technique, because it clears your mind. It stops all this chatter. It puts you in the observer seat so that you can stop all those thoughts and take control over what you do want, rather than your mind constantly thinking about the things that you don't. Yeah? So techniques like that are really, really, really important. Is this making sense so far? Yeah? Cool, cool, cool. Now, this, I don't want to get too much into the science, because the science, it blows my mind. It's not something I'm interested in. But quantum physics is actually a realm of science. So you can actually go and be a quantum physicist and learn about this. And one of their biggest things is ask and you shall receive. Like attracts like. It's what happens. You know, it's a magnet. It's the force of the universe, and it happens in everything. Okay, absolutely everything. So it's something that you guys can always look into. It's something that you can control, but it really is just about separating it and trying to build the muscle. So as soon as you start to realize you're thinking about something you don't want, or starting to stress about something that you don't want, swap the perspective over. Now, I had this really good chat with somebody that I love dearly lately. If you're stuck in a fearful mindset and you're constantly thinking about the things that you don't want, it's just become a habit and become a cycle. The quickest way to break that is to change the habit. Okay, you can't replace energy. Energy can never be destroyed. So if you are thinking a thought, you can't just kill that thought. It's already energy, it's already there. What you can do is manipulate that energy to change it to something else. Okay, so if you guys are thinking at the moment, your thought is, I don't have enough money. There's too many bills. Okay, if that's your thought that's playing over your head, you can see how that's a negative low vibration. And what it's going to attract you is more bills, because that's what you're thinking about. More ways for you to spend your money, because you know you're stressed about spending money. So it's going to attract more things. That thought cannot be destroyed. You can't just go, okay, cool, I'm not going to think about that anymore, because it's still there. It's in an energetic form. What you can do is swap that thought to something from a positive one. So change it. When you start to feel stressed out, think, yeah, but what can I be grateful for? Because grateful for is the other swing of the pendulum. If we start to think about things that we're grateful for, we start to lift our vibration up, and we start to think about things that are happy, things that are positive, things that lift us up and not drag us down. Okay, so I like to think if I'm feeling stressed out, which I do, everybody does. Everyone feels stressed about money at some stage or another. I start to think about the things that I've got. You know, and when I was really broke, that was literally just a roof over our head, a bed to sleep in. Yeah, this coming into my life was a big one. And the funny thing is that we can look at all the negatives a lot easier than we can the positives. Isn't that crazy? We're conditioned to be like that from an early age, to look at everything that goes wrong rather than be grateful for everything that's going right. And that's one of the easiest ways to trick your brain back into a positive cycle, back into I'm attracting good stuff. Because if I'm thinking from a grateful heart about everything that I have, the universe attracts me more things to be grateful for. And that's where the real magic comes in. So that's why exercises like affirmations, gratitude journaling in the morning, even if it's just, before I wake up, and I've got to get in a really good habit of this, because especially towards end of month, when I check my phone first thing in the morning, there's literally like 50 messages. And I pick it up and I instantly feel sick because I think, fuck, and that's my first thing to do. So I have to stop myself from doing that, and I have to do my gratitude exercises before I even look at anything. So I have to start to think of 3 things that I'm grateful for. I have to start the day with a happy heart, because I know that when I'm in that happier place, I'm attracting better positive stuff. So even when I'm looking through my phone, I'm thinking, oh, that's all right. Okay, you're struggling yet, but how can we change it? Okay, and it does change your perspective a lot. You'll start to notice too that as soon as you do that, better things come your way. I love The Secret because it literally puts challenges out there towards you. Another book that I love, I think it's up here, I'll get it out for you guys later. It's called E Cubed, and it's amazing. It's literally gives you exercises. So it says, okay, today we're going to manifest extra cash. So it'll give you exercises to go through to swap your perspective up so that you can start to see it. And it's really cool because you might find $20 in an old pant pocket. You might open the mail and get a check from your insurance of $50 that you're overpaid. And that little stuff starts to build some kind of belief in the fact that, shit, this might be real. It might be onto something. But it's crazy because you think, why not? Why would it not? We know how a magnet works. We know that we're energy, just like a magnet, and we know that the universe is energy. So what's going to happen? What we put out, we will get back. We've seen it time and time again. And I'm sure there's times in your life where you've actually been thinking about something, you've been willing something to happen, and it's happened. And you think, man, I'm cool. But then at the same time, when we think about bad stuff and bad stuff happens, we go, oh, I knew that had happened. Of course you did, because you made it happen. You thought about it, and it happened. So you can't whinge about it. You just have to go, oh, shit, I screwed up. I need to clear my mind a little bit. And that's the biggest thing. If you start to get into the awareness of taking responsibility rather than think that life is happening to you, because when you think that life just happens to you, you can be a total victim. You can sit on your ass and not grow at all because you just think life is so unfair. Life is just terrible. And you create it. You've created the damn thing because you've been thinking about all the things that you didn't want, and then you just sit there like a victim, like somebody else done it to you. And that's where taking ownership comes in. Thinking, okay, right now things aren't where I want it to be. What changes can I make to attract better things? What changes can I make to make my life more positive? Doing things like actually learning about it is life-changing, because as soon as you start to understand the power of your thoughts become things. When you understand that, you don't muck around with your brain anymore. You get really clear on thinking only good stuff, of knowing good stuff will happen, because you know that they will if you think about it. So if you guys don't feel totally comfortable in that belief, you need to go and learn more about it. You need to definitely go watch The Secret. Okay, you need to look at things by Bob Proctor, Esther Hicks. Some amazing people out there who talk about the law of attraction. One of my favorites, most of you know because I talk about him quite regularly, is Jim Carrey. Crazy guy. But he knows his shit when it comes to manifesting. You go right back, he actually sat in his crazy little dodged up car learning about the law of attraction and wrote a check to the universe. I think it was like $1 million, which back then was insane. And everybody was like, whatever, who are you to be that rich? He got the cast on Dumb and Dumber, and he said his check was almost $1 million. He goes right back to that. The reason why he was successful was because he asked for it and he demanded it. I don't know if I have my book in here for now. I don't think I do. What's crazy is that I may as well just tell you anyway. I don't say it to impress you. Please don't think that, because it's dumb, or you guys can go and achieve it anyway. But when I did my 6-month journal, right? So you guys, this is my old one. I'll show you what this is. I should have had it in here so I could show you. This was my last one. So this was the one that ended last year. This year's one was totally different. And I've shown you guys that actually, surprisingly, I put a boat in there in Bali. And it just so happened to be the boat that Mum and Rob picked to take me on for my birthday when we went over there, the exact same boat. So, you know, I'd put it out there, I was working on it every day, and somehow it had manifested itself. I also put down in there 13,000 as a monthly check. And for me, that was insane. You know, like I was very used to earning between 5 and 6, which for me was massive. Yeah, so the thought of earning 13 was nuts. It was a big stretch. Have a guess of what my check is this month. Have a guess. 13,100. And I put it down for July. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But I can guarantee that when you put it out there, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the next deeper level, because the funny thing is that people go, oh, I want all the good things. I'm thinking good things because I want good things. But if your vibration is still stuck in a level of fear, it's not coming to you, because you're not actually on that vibration. You're just tricking yourself. You have to fully believe that you're worthy and that it's coming and that the divine is looking after you to make it happen. You know, if you have doubts in the fact that you're worthy, it's not coming, because you're at a very low vibration. The only way that you can raise that is by personal growth. And that's why we say your business will grow as big as you grow. So if your business isn't growing at the moment, get to work on yourself. Do some personal development. Love you, Desi. Talk to you soon. Do some work on yourself, okay? Actually learn a little bit more about something that interests you. Grow your psyche a little bit bigger, because every time we expand, we can attract more. Yeah, and I think that's fair, because the bigger we can expand, the more we can give people. If we just play little, we can't give lots. And that's exactly like attracts like, right? If we're big, we attract big. If we're little, we attract little. If we play small, we attract small things. If we play big, we attract big things. And that's really where it comes back. We can talk about all the bullshit that's in between, about how to do this, but I can guarantee that everything in your life right now comes back to your thoughts. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah. And it's a bit of a bitch, because sometimes you're like, well, I'm not where I want to be. That's mean. Don't say I'm responsible for it. But once you do realize that you're responsible for it, it means that you can change it. If you put yourself there, you can get yourself out. You don't have to sit and blame the universe or blame God or blame your parents or blame whatever. You can stand up and take responsibility and change a situation. And that's what's really cool. And I think I've covered it a little bit with you guys, but one of the biggest things for me in my spiritual journey was I always knew a lot of this, because my mum was very beautiful in raising me through my teenage years to understand a lot of it. I was a bit of a stubborn bitch though, and I thought she was a bit crazy for the majority of it. But, you know, I didn't quite understand it as much until I went through a situation where my life was chaos every day. I was living with somebody who had a severe mood disorder. So I had no idea what they were going to go through each day and put us through. And it was really quite hectic, because my life was insane. If you guys have ever met anyone who's mentally struggled, or you've mentally struggled yourself, on the high end, I'm not just talking about a little anxiety. I had anxiety. It was nothing compared to life-damaging decisions that could happen. It was quite a scary place to be in, because I loved him and I wanted to support him and I didn't want to see him harm himself or anybody else. But I was also scared for me, because I didn't know how my day would turn out. So every day I had to get up, and I could either choose to be really angry at the universe for putting me in this situation, or I could try and find peace in it. And what was really cool is I had to turn it around and think of, what the hell am I grateful for today? Even when I wanted to sit there and cry because we were in hospital with him ODing, I had to sit there and think, what am I grateful for today? What can I take out of this situation? You know, what can I be happy for? What is the silver lining in this? And it was really quite cool because we talk about you are what you attract, and this might be a little bit out there for everyone, but I was attracting massive growth. Massive growth. I knew that I wanted so much more than what I was. So I was attracting chaotic situations to grow my spirituality. I was attracting massive chaos so that I could try and find the growth in it. And what's really cool now is I look back at that time, have a little PTSD from some of the stuff that we went through, but I look back at it so fondly because that is what made me who I am. That time of mental breakdown and having to find inside peace, even when there was none around me, was what made me stronger. It's what made me turn up, made me resilient, made me fearless. And it's really funny how some people can go through a situation like that and think that they're still a victim, be really sad about it. You know, everybody owes them, life's so unfair. And please don't get me wrong, because I have some people in my life that are still in that mentality. I love them dearly. But you have to choose whether you want to be the fighter or whether you want to be the victim, whether you want to be the person that gets up and grows through uncomfortable situations, or the person that just says, poor me, everybody give me a pat on the back. And the funny thing is that when you're a fighter, you're coming from a place of, I guess, a higher energy. I deserve better. I can do this. I'm strong. Whereas when you're a victim, you're playing in a very low level energy. And the funny thing is, as soon as you start to become that higher energy, you attract better things. You know, and that's what's so funny, because when I look back at my life like then, it was so crazy and chaotic and nuts. But I kept looking up. Like, I kept having that vision of things are coming, great things are coming. I'm achieving great things. Juice Plus fell in my lap, and I went from being a broke, unhappy, completely depressed person to being able to earn a crazy income and impact heaps of people. So, you know, it's really important. It's something that I believe in massively, because it's something that we all deserve the right to know, that we are powerful, that something is always working for us if we let it. We can't just sit there and be like, poor me. So the thing that I'm talking about with the actual manifesting levels, have a look. One of my favorite things is like beta and delta, what do I call them? Like manifesting while you sleep. So you can put them on. We have our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. Our conscious mind goes to sleep when we do. Our subconscious mind goes to work. So you can put these on while you go to sleep, and they will actually work with your subconscious mind to start attracting good things. You can think that's crazy. Go for it. I won't judge you, but I can guarantee it works. Right? So it's really cool to put them on. Just start. You know, I had a lot of blocks around letting someone in because I'd been through such a crazy, chaotic time. I just assumed that love hurt and that I never wanted to do that. But I had some really cool people in my life that said, if you keep thinking that, that's what you're going to keep attracting. I knew that my conscious mind wasn't able to get that yet because it was stuck in PTSD. It was stuck in, there's no fucking way I'm putting myself back out there. No way. So every night I went to sleep and I put this subconscious shit on that was to manifest you a safe and loving relationship. And it's nuts because it happened and I didn't even want it to happen. I was this stuck up in the conscious mind of I'm rocking this shit by myself, I'm being an independent woman. But because I had that foundation of this is what's actually going out with my subconscious mind, it attracted back to me. And it's amazing. Like, it's amazing. It's what we all deserve, to be in a loving partnership. But it's hard when you have things that have hurt your human level. So at the moment, there's going to be things in your business that have hurt human level. Okay, you need to get over them. You need to know that you deserve more, that it's not real. Okay, and just keep moving forward through them. Sorry, Joe, I think you put up, what were they called? It's literally called, I think if you're looking on YouTube, you don't want to go too in depth. It's basically just like manifest while you sleep, or, you know, it's a basic form of hypnotherapy. We had Nessa on before, which would have been awesome because she could have talked a little bit more about it. But that's what happens in hypnotherapy, right? They get us down into that subconscious level and they reframe what our subconscious vibration is giving off. That's the beautiful thing. If anybody's coming with me to Tony Robbins in September, most of his work is done on that subconscious level. It's amazing, and that's what then gets you to walk over fire. Not scary at all, but super fun. And it's cool because that's actually what your body's capable of, right? Who else thinks that at any other stage they could walk over hot coals? No one. No one. But what he does is he tricks our conscious mind, because the conscious mind's like, don't do it, you're going to get burnt, you're going to get burnt. And he talks to our subconscious level and says, attract positive stuff right now. Attract that you will get through this. Attract that you're fearless. Attract that your body is not going to burn. That's exactly what the meditation is. He talks us through, right now your body is fearless. Right now your body is strong. Right now your skin will not burn. It's nuts. It's fucking nuts. Okay? It's hot. You see the fires burning all day. There is no mind trick, and your subconscious mind is scared shitless. But because he actually makes that work with your subconscious mind, you can walk 2 meters over hot coals right to the end. And that's the power of attraction. That's the law of attraction. That's why people that you know are always whinging about being sick are always sick. That's why people that you know that go out there and live an amazing, healthy lifestyle and think that life is amazing are always happy, because they're getting attracted back those things. Yeah, so I can't recommend that enough, guys. If you're a little bit interested in this, get yourself to a UPW. There's one in Sydney happening in September that I'm going to. I think he only does one here in Australia in Sydney every year, but it's unreal. It really does teach you that we are so much more capable than anything we ever thought. But does anybody have any questions around that? Because I've got one more thing that I just want to finish you off with, if you don't. No? Everybody kind of gets it? Does everybody feel right now that they maybe are a little bit more accountable of where their business can go? Because, like, if we use it from a business point of view, if you're always thinking of why can't I get team, what do you think the universe is giving you? People that can't be team. If you're thinking I'm a kick-ass person and I deserve the best people this business can throw at me, what do you think you're going to attract? If you're thinking, oh my God, all my customers are going to hate this and they're going to cancel out, what do you think's going to happen? You know, that's where it comes. That's where the ownership comes. So I'm just going to swap on over right now. I'm going to screen share. And I'm going to get you guys to watch something with me. This is Bob Proctor. He's amazing for you guys that are ever interested in knowing a bit more. But this is something just really easy and similar. If I start playing it, can you let me know if you can't hear?
What do you want out of life?
I don't know. To be happy? To be happy.
I want the American dream. I want to be happy.
I am the only problem I will ever have. And I am the only solution. All right, I want you to get this in your heads. I am the only problem I will ever have, and I am the solution.
I mean, positively or negative. I mean, you attract. Not just what you feel. You attract what you feel, what you are, what you attract.
Yeah, the mind.
What's on your mind? Yes,
It's like
exactly.
the law of physics. I don't know how anybody can disagree with that. It's just ask any physicist; they'll tell you it's true.
I become what I think about all day long. And once you know that what you think about is what expands, you start getting real careful about what you think about. You don't allow your thoughts to be on anything that you don't want, that you wouldn't want to have manifest or show up for you in your life. Every time you say the words, I am weak, I am poor, I am unlucky, I am unhappy, I am sick, I am unable to attract into my life what you want, you are desecrating the name of God.
It's our intention. Our intention is everything. Nothing happens on this planet without it. Not one single thing has ever been accomplished without intention.
Einstein's most famous quote, he said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Logic will get you from A to B, but imagination will take you everywhere.
I think my imagination has always kept me going. You know what I mean? It's like, just imagine myself collecting awards. Just imagine myself, getting big parts. Imagine myself working with great actors. Everybody can imagine themselves, you know what I'm saying? You know what, actually, yeah, I can see myself, being an influencer in Clarence, you know what I mean? Because I can make that happen.
You got to understand something about like attracts like. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
I believe we're creators, and I believe we create with every thought and every word. Every moment is pregnant with the next moment of your life.
You are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you're negative, you're going to draw negativity. You're positive, you draw positive. You're a kind person, more people are kind to you. That's what freezes people. When you're trying to figure out your life all the way to the end, when you can't figure it out, it freezes you from trying it because you go, oh, well, I can't figure that out. Oh, I can't go over there because I don't know how. You don't have to know how. You have to ask, believe, and receive.
Don't allow anybody else's opinions. Don't allow what it says on the internet. Don't allow the research. Don't allow what anybody out there tells you is possible or not possible for you. There are many ways to get the things that we want for ourselves in our lives, but basically, it all begins with how we choose to think. All of us are extraordinary. We just have to come to believe it.
Many of you, as I have been, as I am, are where you are in your life based upon what you believe. And it's not just what you think you believe on the surface, it's also your shadow beliefs that are holding you back from moving into the life that you believe you deserve. What I know is if you're not looking at the shadows, if you're not looking at what is subconsciously running through the tape in your mind, telling yourself you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you're not smart enough, you're not enough, which is a tape that's playing for a lot of people. If you're not conscious of that, then you end up acting out of that belief system and not out of what you know to be the truest or want to be the truest for yourself.
You are where you are today, in part because of what you've been saying about yourself. Words are like seeds. When you speak something out, you give life to what you're saying. If you continue to say it, eventually that can become a reality. You are planting seeds when you talk. At some point, you're going to eat that fruit. My challenge is make sure you're planting the right kind of seeds. If you want apples, you have to sow apple seeds. If you want oranges, you can't plant cactus seeds, poison ivy seeds, mushroom seeds. You're going to reap fruit from the exact seeds that you've been sowing. In other words, you can't talk.
You've probably heard about the laptop lifestyle before. A fulfilling lifestyle where you can work where
Negative and expect to live a positive life. You can't talk defeat and expect to have victory. You can't talk lack, not enough, can't afford it, never get ahead, and expect to have abundance. If you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. And this is great when we're saying things like, I'm blessed, I'm strong, I will accomplish my dreams, I'm coming out of debt. That's not just being positive, you are prophesying victory, prophesying success, prophesying new levels. Your life will move in the direction of your words. Too many people go around prophesying just the opposite. I never get any good breaks. I'll never get back in shape. Business is slow. I'll probably get laid off. Flu season is here. I always get it. They don't realize they are prophesying defeat. It's just like they're calling in bad breaks, mediocrity, lack. You don't become what you want, because so much of wanting is about living in the space of what you don't have. That's why Jim Carrey's story is so powerful, because he started to act as though he already had it. He'd go up to Mulholland Drive, he would drive away thinking, I already have those things, I just haven't accessed them as yet. I believe those things are going to come to me, and I'm going to act like they are. So I'm going to move forward in my life in order to draw that to myself in such a way that my actions are in alignment with what I say I believe. So if you start to think about that, really, why are you where you are in your life? The choices that you have made have been because of what you believe to be true for yourself.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
You can talk yourself out of your destiny. Negative words can keep you from becoming who you were created to be. Don't fall into that trap. Quit calling in defeat. Quit talking about how it's not going to happen. You should write down your goals. Write down what you want to see happen in life. Any areas that you're struggling in, where you need to improve, write it down like it's already done. And then every day, declare that decree. Read over it a couple of times out loud. It's not enough to just think it. Something happens when we speak. You have to prophesy your future. Those words will get down to the inside of you. They'll not only change your outlook, but they will change who you are. Your words will become your reality.
How cool is that? I'm going to save that one and I'm going to pop it up in the team. Did you guys all get to hear that? Yeah? How good is it? I'm definitely going to put that up in the team. Share it with anybody that you know, because it's so perfect. It's just what we talked about. And isn't it cool that some of those people are so damn famous and they get it? They're creating epic money, epic ripples in the world just because they get it. So that's pretty much it from me, guys. I'm going to leave it at that. I will put that up in there if you have anybody that you want to send it to. If you have anything that you feel you need to do from this, whether it's setting up your own vision board. I know some of you have done that during the week. Whether it's putting something that you want up on the fridge. Whether it's getting really clear on what you want. Where are you thinking? Having a reflect on where maybe the gaps might be, that you can work a little bit harder to try and get that life that you want. Because the beauty of it is just how they said, okay, anybody can do it. Anybody. So I know for me, one of my biggest things is putting the intention out there, and that's through vision boards. I don't do vision boards anymore. Like I've got my big one up there, which has all of my fun stuff for the future. But I do 6-month versions, which are on my notepads. So I know every time that I pick it up and I get to work exactly why I'm working, exactly why I'm putting aside the bullshit, exactly why I'm getting resilient, exactly why I'm got an hour to connect with people. I'm going to spend that hour connecting. You know, it keeps me accountable and it keeps my intention set. So I think that's a really important thing for everybody to pick up on. Because if you don't, then you're in the driver's seat, right? But if you don't, you're in the passengers. You're just here. Life is happening to you. Jump in the other one, design it how you want, get really clear on what it's going to look like, and start to squash any of those thoughts that start to F with it. All right? If they start to get a little bit icky, you need to remember to replace it. Gratitude, appreciation. Okay, they're some of the easiest ways to swap it over. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I will put this recording up straight away for you because now my NBN only takes 4 minutes as opposed to my last house that used to take all night, which was a pain in the ass. So I'm going to pop that up for you tonight. If you've got team that you want to share it with, by all means, go for it. If you've got questions, if you've got anything else around that, go for it, because I'd always love to help. This is a topic that's very dear to my heart because it's helped me get out of so many holes. So big love.